Hi, Danny Rampling here. I'd just like to share with you one of my favourite pieces of DJ software, which is Mixed in Key. Now, Mixed in Key helps you harmonise your mixing by key grouping your tracks together. Now, traditionally, this takes hours to do. Mixed in Key takes all of that legwork out of it and makes it very, very simple to key group sets of music together. Take a look at this short tutorial that my team and I have put together for you, and I'm sure you'll be very impressed by this piece of kit.
Okay, the first thing that you want to do is to actually go and get the bit of software. So you just need to go to www.buymixedinkey.com, which will take you through to the Mixed in Key site where you can pick up Mixed in Key, the bit of software. So there you can see Pete Tong endorsing it, saying that he uses it and finds it an extremely valuable service and bit of software for both his radio and club programming. Just one of the many sort of high-profile DJs, whether or not they'll actually admit to it, but who are using this software. So just select whether you want it for the Windows operating system or the Mac operating system. Click on the relevant one, purchase it, and download it and install it on your computer. So that's stage one. Okay, now that we've actually bought Mixed in Key and you've loaded it onto a computer by following the on-screen instructions, you need to now open Mixed in Key, and we're going to actually analyse some songs. So this icon over here is Mixed in Key 4, so we just double click on that. And this is your Mixed in Key window, which you're going to become very familiar with. So at the top here you've got the option to analyse songs. You can browse your collection, but as we haven't put any songs in the collection yet, there aren't any to browse. You can get some extra tutorials from the Mixed in Key team, along with access to the online support forum, which is made up of users all around the world. And this is the community here as well. So these are interlinked, giving some extra tips. But the main thing that we're going to do, it's very straightforward. Basically, we just need to analyse the songs. Basically, we need to find out the key of the songs. Now, there's two ways we can do this. We can either simply go down to Add Files and then just find them on our hard drive. So, for example, I could just go here and click on Music and then look for the relevant files and just click Open. Or what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go across to iTunes and just select a few tracks which I've just got. So I'm just highlighting this little playlist of tracks here, and I've just gone in there. I've pressed Control, the Apple key, plus A to highlight all of them, and I'm just literally going to click and drag and drop them in, and that's as quick and easy as it is. Okay, so I'm going to close iTunes now because I've got what I needed from iTunes, and so I've got my tracks in here now. All I need to do is just simply click Analyse in this bottom right hand corner. So there's 13 songs that we're going to analyse. Now if we wanted to add more files, we'd just click on Add Files here, and you could even upload maybe a couple of hundred tracks. If you're going to do a big list of tracks, and it's recommended that maybe you do it overnight or just before you're about to go out, because they will take a little bit of time each. You've got to give the actual software time to analyse each individual track. But we click Analyse here, and as you can see at the top now, it's starting at the top with this track, Type the World, and it's already found that that is in key 1A. Now it's gone on to the next track, and you can see that it's processing. So, I don't know, it might take 30 seconds, it might take a minute, but you know, the key here is not to be in a rush, just to do it when you've got time. You can actually be working on other projects whilst it's analysing. So there you go, we can see that track Ubatuba, the Afrotech mix, is actually in key 8A, and we're now down onto the track Miles Away, which is processing. So we're not going to sit here and watch all of this, because it's going to be like watching grass grow. But we'll come back to this in a moment once it's analysed all of these tracks. Okay, well, I've just come back maybe 2 minutes later, and as you can see, all of the tracks here have been analysed. Down the right hand side, it's telling you which key each of these tracks is in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to browse the collection. So it automatically, the very fact that it's analyse them, it puts them into your collection. Now we're going to go down the bottom left, and let's just create a little bit like in iTunes. We're going to create a playlist. So let's just give this a title. So I've clicked on the plus button. I'm just going to double click on here, and we're just going to call this Deepness. Okay, it's a few deep tracks in there. And then what we're going to do, let's just go in here. I've just pressed Control and A, which highlights all of the tracks, and I'm just going to click and drag them all across to the Deepness folder. So there we have the tracks. There's actually a few more in there because I did actually add a few more just before doing this video. But basically what we can do here, we can organise these tracks in a number of different ways. The first way is by file name. So if we click on file name, can you see that it's organised everything in order of the name? Now I'm just going to explain about the way that I've actually set up the settings here so that the track key is put at the beginning. The other way that you can do it, you can actually do it so that the song key is the way that it's organised. So here on the top, if I click on song key, watch this, this will all change now, and this will all be in a running order, sequential order. So there you go, you can see that track Indigo, 1A, 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 2A, 2B, 2B, 3, 4, 5. Or we can even do tempo, so we can watch, if I click on tempo here, it'll organise things in terms of beats per minute. So I haven't got loads in this library at the moment, purposefully, and you can change this at any moment. It doesn't actually harm your library in any way, so you might actually want to quickly have a look at things by tempo, but then you might want to have a look at things by key, or maybe you just want your file name. Or you can also do date added, which is maybe good if you're adding a lot of tracks on a regular basis and you need to skip back somewhere quickly in your library to find a track. Now, I'm just going to show you why this is showing in the file name, why things are organised with the the key at the beginning. Because simply, if we go to the top left up here to mixed in key preferences, okay, if we go now to file renaming, I'm actually selecting how I want mixed in key to lay out the name of my music. So I've told it that I want it to have, if you can see here, look, it's saying key, which is what this is down the left hand side, followed by the BPM, which is this here, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 5 1 2 1, followed by the original file name. So basically I'm asking it to pre-suffix the original name with both the key and the BPM. Now you don't have to do that. If you wanted, you could have it just the original file name followed by the key, or maybe just the key and then the original file name, but my preference is key followed by BPM followed by the original file name. It gives a lot of information straight up front. Okay, now that we've analysed our music within mixed in key, what we need to do now is use the Camelot Sounds Easy Mix system, this wheel that you see here, to help you actually mix harmonically. So don't be confused by this, it's very straightforward. If you think about this as a clock, with 12 o'clock coming all the way around the clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way back around to 12. The letters A stand for minor keys, not that you need to know this, and the B stand for major keys. Now let's say that we start our mix with a track in 4A. For any track you've got 4 options. Okay, using the clock system you can either stay in the same hour, so the next track that we selected could be another 4A track. We could subtract an hour, which would go back to a 3A track. We could go forward an hour to 5A, or we could go from minor to major from 4A into 4B. So let's say for this example that we're going to go from 4A, our next track's going to be a track that's in the key of 4B. Okay, so the same principle applies for every track. We now have 4 options to keep the mixing harmonic. We can either stay, the next track could be another 4B track. We could drop an hour, so effectively subtracting an hour, and go to a 3B. We could add an hour, go to 5B, or we can drop back down into 4A, which you don't need to know it, but is a minor, as you can see, going from major to minor. Everything on the inside of the wheel is minor, all of the Bs are majors. And by using this system, and always using one of the 4 options relating to the key that you're already playing in, you're always going to create a nice smooth blend which will mix harmonically.